Today I'm looking at the Wacom Intuos Draw tablet. It's blue. I like blue. Now this is the lowest price tablet that Wacom sells. It retails for about 80 bucks. I found mine for about $70 on Amazon. I gotta say, as an entry-level tablet, this thing was really nice. It's thin, it feels solid, it has 4 customizable hotkeys on the top of it. Now the live drawing area is about like 6 inches by like 3.5 inches, maybe a little bit more than 3.5 inches. And the pen has 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity. Now I personally think pressure sensitivity is probably the most overrated stat on drawing tablets. It's not so much the levels of pressure sensitivity that you're looking for, it's how they're calibrated. Now the one I got plugs in via USB cable, but you can get a wireless kit for it. This is one of those tablets that doesn't have the screen built into it. It is one of those tablets that sits off to the side and you're looking at your screen while you're drawing over here. And like I've said in previous videos, I am really bad at that. Now of course, a screen with a tablet in it is also hundreds of dollars more, so if you're a beginner looking to get into something, looking at a tablet like this is probably a pretty good option. So right out of the box, I really like the pen pressure on this. It felt the way I expected it to feel with the brushes that I like to use. I didn't have to jump in and fiddle with the settings at all to kind of get it to work the way I wanted it to work, which I have to do with some drawing tablets. And my first impression, as soon as I put the pen on the tablet, was how much I loved the texture. In my videos, I talk a lot about drawing texture when you're drawing on the screen of something. In fact, in my iPad video, I talked about looking for the best screen protector to draw on to kind of emulate a good texture drawing experience. So if you're ever wondering, okay Brad, what do you think is the perfect texture for drawing on for a digital drawing tablet? It's this. This is fantastic. It just feels great. And when you're drawing on it, it doesn't have a hollow plasticky sound like other tablets. It kind of even almost sounds like paper. When you rub your hand against it, that doesn't feel like a textured surface, but it's just enough texture with the pen. It's just perfect. It is one thing that Wacom has done over the years that I think they have just nailed, is the stuff they make their products out of feel good to draw on. Now the pen itself, when I first picked it up, feels really, really light. Actually a little bit too light for my tastes. I'm used to something with a little bit more weight to it, and I actually found myself like gripping this really hard. I don't know why, but I had to consciously tell myself while I was drawing, hey Brad, loosen up the grip a little bit. This is one of those problems only I will ever have, but figured it's worth pointing out. Also looking at the pen, it's thinner than a lot of the drawing styluses that come with other graphing tablets of this type. But it's probably about the same width as like a Surface Pro pen or the Apple Pencil, so the width-wise didn't feel that odd to me. Like I mentioned before, the tablet comes with 4 customizable hotkeys along the top. And I gotta confess, I didn't really use these at all. You see on a larger tablet, like this Artisol tablet here, my hands rest along the side, and so those hotkeys come in really handy. Mostly because my keyboard is got to be pushed behind it or off to the side in order for me to use the tablet. So in this case, my keyboard was off to the side, so I was able to use all my keyboard shortcuts the way I normally do when using the program. But at the same time, it's nice to have. I know a lot of folks like using those buttons up there, so they're there for you. I want to stop for a second and talk about driver setup. Now on the PC, I had no problem at all. I was even able to get it to run on my Surface Pro, but on my Mac, on the other hand, I did have some trouble getting the drivers installed the first couple times. Now this could have something to do with the fact that I have dozens of drawing tablets that I've installed on my Mac over the years, so there's a lot of cruft. And Wacom does recommend that you uninstall any other Wacom drivers, and I can say that if you have any other tablet drivers running on your Mac, you should probably uninstall those before installing this as well. Once I did get some of those uninstalled and I got the Wacom drivers installed, I was off to the races and it was working fine. Now on the PC and the Mac, once you get the drivers installed, you get something called the Wacom Desktop Center. Now what it is a way to, manage all your settings for your drawing tablet. It really feels like one of those things that was built for the PC and then ported to the Mac. For example, on this screen there are 3 settings: Open Pen settings, Open Express Key settings, Open On-Screen Control settings. All 3 of those buttons lead to the same exact control panel screen, which is kind of a weird UX thing. Now, since this really is aimed at some of the first-time graphic tablet user, I will give you a little piece of advice. And that is this: if you've never used a tablet like this before, give yourself a couple weeks. Every day, sit down, draw with it a little bit, kind of get used to your eye-hand coordination. At first, it's really going to feel a little bit awkward looking at the screen and drawing with your hand. So all in all, this tablet was pretty much what I expected. There was nothing here that blew me away. Well, the texture may have blown me away a little bit. And there was nothing here that really disappointed me. But all in all, it was a really solid graphics tablet. Just last week, I posted a video for a third-party competitive tablet, the Turcom, and it is about half the price, and it does like 90% of what this tablet does. I wasn't happy with the pressure sensitivity of the Turcom on the Mac. On the PC, I thought it was great. But also, when you're looking at a drawing tablet, you might ask, like, for the extra $40 or $30, $40, what am I actually getting for that? And honestly, when you're buying Wacom, what you're really doing is you're buying a brand name that has a reputation for tablets that last a really long time and are of solid quality. You're paying for really good drivers and really good support and all that other kind of stuff, some of those bells and whistles. Down the road, if you want to get rid of the wire on your tablet, you could buy the wireless kit, little details like that. And so using this tablet, I can feel that it is just a better quality build than some of the other more inexpensive tablets that I've tried. So it really comes down to your preference and how much you want to invest in something like this. Of course, some of my artist friends swear by these Wacom Intuos tablets. They use the Wacom Pros and they love them. And I can see where they're coming from after using this, seeing how good the pressure sensitivity is and how just nice of a drawing feel it has. I totally understand that. If I was going to use a device like this full time, I would probably jump for a larger size, however, because I felt to me like the size was a little constrained, but that's kind of what you'd expect from an entry-level tablet. So that's the review. If I missed anything or you have any questions, the comments are down below. I try to kind of keep those monitored and answer as many questions as I can. Also, you can always hit me up on Twitter if you want a faster response. And that's about it for this week. I'll see you in a week or two.